Module 3, Lesson 7. We are doing two-step word problems. So I'm going to draw a little heart over word problems because I know how much you love them. Okay, but don't worry, we're going to work through them together. Okay, so open up your Learn book to Lesson 7, Problem Set. Pause the video and go find your Learn book if you don't have it open right now. And we are going to solve the word problems using the RDW strategy. RDW, which means read, draw, write. So let's read first the problems. George weeded 1/5 of the garden, and Summer weeded some too. When they were finished, 2/3 of the garden still needed to be weeded. What fraction of the garden did Summer weed? Okay, well, I'm going to use a tape line here. And I know that George weeded 1/5. And we don't know what Summer weeded, but when they were done, 2/3 still needed to be weeded. And altogether, that equals the whole garden, so that equals 1, okay? So, what fraction of the garden did Summer weed? That's our question. This is two parts because we're going to need to add this plus this and then subtract it from that to find the answer. So, if 1 is our whole, minus 1/5 plus 2/3. Do you see how I created that equation there? That word, that expression? So 1/5 is what George did. 2/3 of what was left over. Okay, so we know those two numbers. And this is what Summer did. We don't know that answer. So we're going to subtract what the other answer is from 1 and see how we do that. So let's do the 1/5 plus 2/3 first. We're going to use our fraction rectangular area model here that we have been using. 1/5, okay? And this is 2/3, and this is addition, so we'll just add the two together, 2/3. And I need to create common denominators. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 and this by 5. And that gives me 1, 2, 3 out of 15 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 15. And 3 15s plus 10 15s. So 3 15, let me write it here. 3 15 plus 10 15s equals 13 15s. Okay, so I can take this and I can swap it for this answer because now I know what that answer is. So 1 minus 13 15s equals our answer. Okay, so 1 whole. Well, I know that 1 whole is 1 entire square. Let me get a little bit bigger here. This is 1 whole, isn't it? And I want it to have a same common denominator as this. So I'm going to turn this into a fraction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 over 15 equals 1 whole minus 13 15s equals, well, 15 minus 13 is just 2 15s. Okay, so let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What am I left with? I'm left with this section right there, which is 2 15s. Okay? So my answer is Summer weeded 2 15ths of the garden. I can check my answer. I can check it easily enough by flipping this around, and I'm going to say 2/15 plus 1/5 plus 2/3 should equal 1. Okay, so I can swap this out for 2/15, and let's do that problem really quickly, just to check our answers. I already know that 1/5 plus 2/3 equals 13/15. So if I say 2/15 plus 13/15 equals 1. Okay, I did it. I just showed my answer. Summer weeded 2/15 of the garden, period. Great. Jing spent 1/3 of her money on a pack of pens, 1/2 of her money on a pack of markers, and 1/8 of her money on a pack of pencils. What fraction of her money is left? So let's use another tape diagram to kind of figure that out. She used 1/3 on pens. She used 1/2 on markers. She used 1/8 on pencils. And we want to figure out what this number is, okay? So this is a two-step problem again. We're going to have to take the whole, right? If this were a number line, it'd be 0 to 1. The whole being 1 minus 1/3 plus 1/2 plus 1/8 gives us our answer. And if we want to make this just a little bit easier on ourselves, we can create a third step here, and I can go ahead and make parentheses inside the parentheses to make that just a little bit easier. So 1/3 plus 1/2, let's do this first. 1/3 plus 1/2. Okay, there's our third. There's our half. 1/3 plus 1/2. I'm going to multiply 1/3 times 2, which equals 1/2 out of 6. And then I'm going to multiply 1/2 times 3, which equals 3 6s. Okay, 1, 2, 3 out of 6. So 2 6s plus 3 6s equals 5 6s. So I can take this and I can rewrite it. 5 6 plus 1/8. Take 1 from there. Okay, I've just simplified it a little bit. Now I have a second problem. 5 6s plus 1/8. Switch colors for the second part of this problem here. Okay, so I want this to be 5 6, and I want this one to be 1/8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll make 8 right there. Okay, there's 1/8. On this side, I'm going to make it out of 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 5 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to multiply this side by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and what is 8 times 5? Do you guys remember? I'm giving you a space so I can put that on the Ed puzzle. 40. And 6 times 8 is 48. And this side I'm going to multiply by 6. And that's going to give me 6 48ths. So there we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 40 48ths plus 6 48ths equals 46 48ths. Okay, So I can do 1 minus 46 48ths. And again, I'm going to turn this into a fraction here. So if there are 48 spaces there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 28, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. I can turn this 1 into 48 over 48, and my answer will be 2 48ths. And I can simplify that even more by dividing both the top and the bottom by 2, and I can get 1 24th. So let me check my work here. If this is 1 24th, all of those together should equal 1. So let's rewrite this the other way and say 1 24th plus 1/3 plus 1/2 plus 1/8 equals, and it should equal 1. So let's double check. We know that 1/3 plus 1/8 is 5/6. Okay, and we know that 1/8 plus 1/8, right, equals 46 48ths. Okay, so 46 48ths. 1 24, if we multiply that by 2, we would get 2 48ths, which equals 48 over 48, which equals 1. Looks like it works. So our answer, and I'm going to write that in black, our answer is, what fraction of her money is left? She still has 1 24th of her money, period. Number 3, Shelby bought, story problems, I know you love them. They take a long time, but they are really good to get you to read carefully. Some of you don't read as carefully as you should. Shelby bought a 2-ounce tube of blue paint. She used 2/3 ounces to paint the water, 3/5 ounce to paint the sky, and some to paint a flag. After that, she had 2/15 of an ounce left. How much did Shelby use to paint her flag? Okay, so she had 2 ounces, 2 ounces of blue paint. Now, these are not going to be exact lines, okay? So she used 2/3 to paint the water, 3/5 to paint the sky, some to paint the flag, and after that she had 2/15 left. Okay, so this is important. She started with 2, okay? How much did Shelby use to paint her flag? That's the question we want to know right there. So we're going to take 2, that's our whole number. Okay, 2, and then we're going to add up these numbers in between. Minus, and I'm going to double it up here so that it's a little bit easier, plus 3/5 plus 2/15 equals our answer. Okay, there's our equation that we created from that. Do you see? This plus that, minus 2, because we have 2 ounces, we started with 2 ounces, equals our answer. So let's figure that out. 2/3 plus 3/5. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3/5, and here's 1 2/3, and I'm going to multiply my 2/3 times 5, because here's the 5 over here, equals 10/15. So I should be left with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10/15, and here I should have 1 2 3. I'm going to multiply that by, let me just show you what I'm doing first. I'm multiplying by 3. So I should have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 out of 15. So 10/15 minus 9/15 equals 1/15. So I can put that right here. 1/15. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm adding. I apologize. 19/15 plus 2/15. Now look, they already have the same denominator. Do I need to create another model to find another denominator? No, I don't. They already have the same denominator, so I don't have to go that extra step. So now 19/15 plus 2/15 equals 19 plus 2 is 21/15 minus 2 is my question mark. Okay, now it's subtraction, and I want to convert this into a fraction, and I want my fraction to have the denominator of 15 so that I can subtract it easily. So I'm going to use these that I already have built over here. There's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 15/15s plus another 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15/15s, which would be 30/15. Do you see that? I just added those two wholes. Minus 21/15 equals 9/15. Now, can I simplify that? I can. Let's, I want to get this out of the way here. I'm going to move this up. So if I have 30/15 minus 21/15, I have 9/15 left over. That's my answer, 9/15. But now I want to simplify it. So I'm going to use okay, 9/15, and I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3 because 3 will go back into both of those equally. So equals 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. It's 3/5. So here's my answer, 3/5. Okay, good. All right, and you can check your own work if you'd like to. Just add those up, and they should equal 2. How much paint did Shelby use to paint her flag? Shelby used, don't forget to label, 3/5 of an ounce of paint on her flag. Good. Number 4. All right, we just have 2 more here. Jim sold 3/4 of a gallon of lemonade. Dwight sold some lemonade too, but we don't know how much. Together they sold 1 5/12 of a gallon. Who sold more lemonade? Okay, so here's my tape diagram, and I know that this tape diagram is from 0 to 1 5/12. Okay, and if Jim sold 3/4, how much did Dwight sell? Okay, so here's my here's my tape diagram. This is my drawing. So read, draw, write. Okay, so how am I going to solve this? This is going to be 1 5/12 of a gallon minus 3/4 of a gallon. Okay? And then the second part is who sold more. So we're going to compare that afterwards, okay? How much more? We're gonna compare that afterwards. First of all, we're going to find out how much did Dwight sell, but without that number we can't do much of anything. So let's convert this into an improper fraction. 1 equals 12/12, okay, plus 5/12 equals 17. Yeah, the left and the right of the equal sign always have to be the same. So, okay, equals 17/12. Okay, so there's my 17/12 minus 3/4. Now, if you want to use the area model to figure out, you sure can. It's a subtraction problem. But I'm just going to multiply this times 3 and this times 3, and that's going to give me 9/12. Okay, so now I can subtract easily enough. 17/12 minus 9/12 equals 17 minus 9 is 8/12. And then I can simplify that by dividing it by 2. I could actually divide it by 4. Let's divide it by 4, because 4 goes into both of those numbers, huh? 4 divided by 4 equals 2/3. So we think that Dwight sold, this is our step 1, Dwight sold 2/3 of a gallon. Okay. Who sold more lemonade? Jim or Dwight? Well, which is longer, 3/4 or 2/3? So now we're going to compare. Okay. You should keep your work on your paper, please, at all times. I am going to erase so that I have enough space. In fact, you know what I could do? I think I could probably make some more space for myself by doing that. Yep. Okay. I'm still going to erase this though, so that I have enough space. All of you, show your work all the time. Okay? In math, we show all of our work so that your math teachers know what you're doing. Okay? That was my first problem. Now I need space for my second problem. So my second problem is who sold more, Jim or Dwight? So 3/4 is what Jim sold, and Dwight sold 2/3. So in order to do this, I'm going to need to convert them into the same. I can't compare them until I have the same common denominator, right? So I can multiply this by 3/3 and get 9/12. And this one I'm going to multiply by 4. Okay, and that's going to give me 8/12. Now, which one is bigger? Who sold more? Well, which is bigger, 9/12 or 8/12? If you're not sure, let's draw a number line. Okay, if you're not sure, let's draw a number line. There's 0, and there's 1, and I want to break it into 12, so I'm going to need 11 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, it got a little messy there. Okay. There's 1, and there's 0. And Jim sold 9/12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/12. And Dwight only, sold 8/12ths, so let's figure out what his would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who sold more? Jim sold more. So the second part of my question is, who sold more lemonade, Jim or Dwight? How much more? Well, that's pretty easy. I can just figure out what is left over here, subtract it. There's a difference of 1/8 there. I'm sorry, 1/12. So 9/12 minus 8/12 equals 1/12. Jim, so this is my second part, sold 1/12 of a gallon more than Dwight. Good. All right. Next one, last question. Leonard spent 1/4 of his money on a sandwich. He spent 2 times as much on a gift for his brother as on some comic books. He had 3/8 of his money left. What fraction of his money did he spend on the comic books? So Leonard spent 1/4 of his money on a sandwich. He spent 2 times as much as that, so that's 1/4 times 2, on a gift for his brother. Wait a minute. He spent 2 times as much on a gift for his brother as on the comic books. So we don't know actually how much the comic books were. So I'm going to have to erase this. And I'm going to put comic books times 2 is how much he spent on the gift. Oh no, it is the comic books. Okay. So that is the gift. This is why careful reading is important. He spent 2 times as much of that. So it is 2 times on 1/4. So 2 times 1/4 as much on a gift for his brother as on. He spent 2 times as much on a gift for his brother as on some comic books. Nope, that's still not the comic book. This is a tricky one. You guys have to read this a couple times to get it, okay? He had 3/8 of his money left. Okay, so let's just write this all out and figure out what we've got left. We know that he has 3/8 left. And he spent 1/4 on a sandwich. So there's the sandwich. He spent 2 times as much on a gift for his brother on some comic books. So it is 2 times 1/4. Okay. What fraction of his money did he spend on the comic books? He spent 2 times as much on a gift for his brother as on some comic books. So here's the gift. Okay, there's the gift. And there's the comic books. What fraction did he spend on the comic books? So first of all, we have to figure out how much the gift was. And then from that, we should be able to figure out how much the comic books were. Okay. So let's figure out how much. Let's subtract the rest of this. This is a really hard one, you guys. I'm not surprised if you're like, what? I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand either. So here's his money. And he had a certain amount of money, and then he subtracted 1/4 of it. And then there was also 3/8 of it left. And then whatever else was this number plus 2 times that number. Okay? So, tricky. What fraction of his money did he spend on the comic books? You know what? If this one's on the test, I'm sorry. Okay, let's put these into a common denominator here. Okay, so 1/4 times 2 would be 2/8, right? So I can take that out and I can make that into 2 and that into 8, and then I can add those together. So 5/8. plus a number plus 2 times that number equals his money. So we're gonna call his money 1. Okay. Now I want to subtract 5/8 from this side and 5/8 from that side. So 1 minus 5/8 would equal, and I just moved it over there, the number plus the number. Okay, well, 1 equals 8/8 minus 5/8. That equals 3/8 equals however much you spent on the comic books plus 2 times that number on a gift. So really what we've got here is 3 times a number that we don't understand, okay? So let's divide both of those by 3, huh? That would be 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 equals, this would be the gift, and that would be the comic books. Look, we got there. It was tricky, but we did get there. What fraction of his money did he spend on the comic books? Well, let's see if we got the right answer here. I'm going to take out those and take out, let's see. The comic books would be 1/8, and the gift would be 2/8. So if we did that correctly, 1/4 plus 2/8 plus 1/8 plus 3/8 should equal 1. Let's see if we're right. First of all, I want to change this into 2/8. Okay, 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we did it. That was really tricky, you guys. I'm sorry it was so hard, but what fraction of his money did he spend on the comic books? He spent 1/8 of his money on comic books. Great job. Super tricky, that one. Okay, so that was Lesson 7. Next, I would like you to go to your exit ticket. Exit ticket's going to be much, much easier than that, but please remember your read, draw, write strategy. I want to see all 3 of those in action. Okay, so read the story first, then create some sort of model, and then write your answers. Okay, so Mr. Pham mowed 2/7 of his lawn. His son mowed 1/4 of it. Who mowed the most? So you're going to have to compare 2/7. That's Mr. And then his son is 1/4. So you're going to have to compare, okay, which means you're going to have to make sure that they have a common denominator. Who mowed the most? And then you're going to subtract one of those from the other and figure out who mowed the most lawn. And then you're going to subtract whatever that number is from 1 to figure out how much is left. Okay, this is way easier than that number 5. Whew. Okay, and then your homework. There it is, number 1. I hope you love word problems as much as I do.